Hey everybody, welcome. Hope everyone is doing well. Let's get started with update number 25 at Waterman Junction. Okay, so I've temporarily removed the front fence from the storage area to be able to show you this a little bit clearer, a little bit better. Now, in my original plan, I had these wheels and axle sets stored on a separate set of tracks over here. And after I got finished building these two buildings, I realized that wasn't going to work. Just a little too crowded, and it just wasn't going to look right anyway. I had originally intended this dock to go out a little bit further, and that there would be a dock hoist here that would lift the wheel sets up and then place them onto this flat car. And kept looking at it and looking at it, and I just really didn't like it. So what I decided to do was look for something that was more like a trolley hoist. And I looked through a lot of the kits, looked through a lot of pictures and stuff, and I said, you know what, looks like I'm going to have to scratch build my own. So that's basically what I did. So I built myself a trolley hoist, a hoist that sits over in here and here, and will lift the axle sets up and then be able to place them onto the flat car here where they load up, and then take over to the repair track. Let's go to the bench and I want to show you what I've done. All right, well, here it is. I know it looks more like a gantry crane than a trolley crane, and what I'm doing is I'm calling it the doghouse crane. And as you can see, the doghouse assembly is what contains the motorized winch and the motorized system for the trolley or traction system moving the doghouse up and down the gantry. What I'd like to do next is take a look at a few more photos and talk about what materials I used to build this thing. One thing about the construction I need to point out is that at the top of each of the 8x8 posts that are the legs, there's a portion cut out, a notch cut out, so that the cross members actually set on top of part of the post. That's a structural thing, and I did that in this model too. You can see in this little highlight here that there's a little cutout, and the beam is actually setting on top of part of the post. And then the metal bracket is placed over, and then the lag screws are screwed into the beam and the upright legs, and then into the cross beam to tighten it all down, tie it all together. But I really wanted to point that out because that's kind of important. Okay, when it came time to paint, all of the styrene pieces got the normal automotive gray primer, a very light coat, and then I added on a few little layers of, it's a cheap craft paint, neutral gray is the color, and I added that in different places just to give it a different color rather than the primer gray. And then along with that, I tried something new. I added in a color that is a metallic color. It's a metallic silver. I added that in different places, just for some different colorations, different variations. Now, all the wooden pieces started out getting a wash or a stain using cheap craft paint. This was raw umber. Then after everything dried and then I assembled everything. And then after assembly, I touched up wherever I scratched and messed up. And then went about the weathering. And the weathering was just using my normal burnt umber, burnt sienna, and just started adding layers of that, different spots, washes, until I got the effect that I wanted. And then she was done. All right, so that's the last structure for the supply and storage area. And from there, I guess I'll move on to doing some detail work, especially inside in and around the welding shed. It really needs some detail work. And then I can move on to doing a little bit of scenery work around here. Need a little bit more, some kind of ground cover, dead bushes, dead stuff, debris, all that kind of stuff. So I'll work on that. And then we'll see what's next. So thank you very much for watching, those that are still watching. Thank you to all my new subscribers and to subscribers. I've gotten a bunch of new ones lately. And mostly thank you for the comments. I really do appreciate the comments. Keep them coming. I love to see what you guys got to say. And it helps me moving forward. So I guess we'll end this with a big thank you. And see you next time.